Hey, what's good, guys? Blind Dave here in New Orleans. So, now, this Hurricane Laura, what you see on television, news, and whatnot is that, yes, the eye of the storm is going to go right at the Texas-Louisiana border. What most people fail to recognize is, okay, when it makes landfall as a Category 4, that rain, the worst side of the storm is the east side of the storm. So you're going to be impacted by more than just storm surge. The torrential rains, the flooding, that's going to, and then the animals, snakes, alligators, whatnot, coming about in the water, raccoons, what you name it. You know, look, it's now 11 o'clock Central. I would suggest if you're going to make a move, now is the time. I would say you have less than an hour to leave if you're going to. The reason being is interstates, whatnot, they all get backed up severely. You may be caught in the middle of traffic, in the middle of the storm. So, if you haven't made preparations, if you don't have more than a week's worth of food, water, and medicine and firepower, I suggest you not stay, because there will be no one to come and rescue just you in the middle of the storm. Be prepared to do without electricity. Be prepared to boil water. Have other means to purify water, whether chlorine or other means, boiling. Know how to use chlorine, pool shock, that kind of stuff, alcohol, vinegar. There are many things that you should know if you live in a coastal area for these kind of events. And if you're not prepared, I don't suggest you stick around for the t-shirt. The other thing is, in the middle of it, as your house is breathing, you're going to hear the sheetrock, the studs in the ceiling, the entire ceiling may blow off. It did on my house in one hurricane. That will scare a lot of people. Similar to that as a tornado, get to the innermost part of your home, in a closet, in a bathroom. If your bathroom is full of tile, I don't suggest that, because if anything does penetrate through a window and hits the wall and is able to mess up the hardy board, and then the tile becomes nothing but shards of glass. So I really don't like bathrooms. I'd prefer, a closet under the stairs, in the center of the home, not towards the outskirts. Don't be curious and open up a door, stick your head near a window. Stuff does go flying, and bad things happen at that point. But if you are going to leave, I would say within an hour, because it's already picking up here in New Orleans. Not much rain, just a little drizzle here and there. But the wind has certainly increased, and I notice a temperature decrease. So whenever the temperature decreases, I would say by 10 degrees, prepare to seek shelter. That's I guess a blind tip. Whenever I'm out and about and all of a sudden I feel a 10-degree change in the temperature, need to find a building or something to get into because it's going to be a torrential downpour. Now this is a lot different. This is going to be sustained for many hours, if not days, because yes, it's going to make landfall, but all the rain is concentrated and will be concentrated over the New Orleans area. So we're going to have severe flooding. You know, make sure you got a hatchet, not an axe. You're going to want a hatchet on the second floor, or maybe another one up in the roof, in the ceiling. So that way at least you can cut your way out and not be drowned if that were to happen here. But man, if y'all are leaving, I would tune into AM radio 690 and 870 in order to avoid contraflow. Now, in Hurricane Katrina, contraflow, you were just stuck on the interstate, you were stuck on a highway. It was all one way. There was no way back into the city. If you forgot something, oh well, you ain't getting back in. So they're not going to allow you to get on the opposing side of the interstate to go back. That doesn't work. It's all one way to get out. So I would have an atlas, that kind of stuff, be familiar with back roads and highways, know where you want to get to and how to get there. Don't just rely on your GPS navigation. Tune into local radio to find alternate routes in order to get to where you want to go. Yeah, I've got everything I need. More than a month's worth of food, medicine, water, firepower, everything I need here. It will be bad regardless where it hits. I feel sorry for anyone and everyone. But if you're not prepared, just know government is not going to save you. Search and rescue will be days. FEMA will be days. I don't suggest local shelters either. It's just from what we saw in Hurricane Katrina, I wouldn't do that ever. Well, I didn't do it then, but I after what I witnessed, the stories and on television and whatnot, I wouldn't be around there. And then you can't even bring personal protection in, as far as a firearm or a knife or anything. Nah, Nah, I wouldn't be there either. So, and same thing, food and water. Hope y'all got more than a month's worth of food and water. If you don't have natural gas in your house, at least a propane tank and just a cheap propane grill. So that way you can boil things and cook. That kind of stuff. Ton of canned goods. If the can's not dented, it's still good. It's the best by date is not an expiration date on canned goods. If you see any swelling or caving of the cans, don't eat that. Just throw it. Just pitch it. Man, I wish everyone the best. Y'all be safe.